Paul Farbrace, I guess nearly three-quarters of the way through the season. What's your sort of assessment? Let's talk first of all about the county championship, about how things have gone.
Well, the thing that we talked about right at the start of the season was expecting to win. And the reason, and I said right at the start of the season, the reason we had to talk about winning was that the team had won one game a year for the previous 3 years. And if we just start talking about winning, let's try and win 3 games this year and maybe 4 next year, that's a very low bar that we're setting for ourselves. And we need to be ambitious. We need to talk about winning, and we need to talk about expecting to win. But I think what we've seen is after 10 games now, we've seen that we've got a group of players who are very honest, they're very committed, they work hard, but actually they don't quite know how to win. And, you know, we've had discussions in our changing room and during games, after games, and people have talked about, you know, we need to be more ruthless. Well, I'm not sure they know how to be ruthless because they don't know how to get over the line. And that's not being disrespectful to them as players. It means that, you know, they lack the experience to know how to win. And at times we've got ourselves into good positions in games. And, yeah, we could look at the weather early part of the season and say there was probably the Leicester game, the Worcester game, the Gloucester game that we got in good positions. But even then, we were good enough to bowl the opposition out once. We weren't quite good enough to do it twice. So we can't really talk about the weather. We can't make excuses. You know, the Yorkshire game at home, we probably would have lost. And as we sit here now, this Yorkshire game, it's pouring Albury rain. We might not finish the game and we might sneak away with a draw when, you know, Yorkshire would fully expect to, if it stayed dry, would fully expect to win. So we can't bleat about missing out on opportunities to win. We might have another couple of wins in the win column, but we might also have a couple of defeats in the defeat column. So, you know, I think we've learned a lot about ourselves as a team. We've learned that we've got, as I say, a very honest group. We lack experience, we know that, but we've got to stop making excuses about them being young, and we've actually got to say, well, there's one or two who are starting to put their hands up. You know, James Cole's, you know, at 19 has been one of our standout players since he got into the team. So age is not the key issue. You're looking for people to be more consistent, and we've got a lot of people who've got scores between 30 and 50 without going on. And the last game we played at home against Derbyshire was a great example that we're 150 for none at lunch. And at lunchtime I said to the group, this is a time when we really have to cash in. This is an opportunity where we get ourselves to 500. And the 2 openers get out reasonably soon after lunch. One gets 80, one gets 90. One of them goes on and gets 160, 170. We're getting 450 to 500 comfortably. And it's a very different game then that Derbyshire, in their first innings, are under huge pressure. But we let them off the hook because, and not because our players are getting out on purpose, but because their lack of understanding what does the team need from me at this particular moment in time. And, you know, we've got a lot of runs middle order and down, and we've got some depth to our batting. So you know, Ollie Carter, who, you know, I'll be honest, I didn't expect to start in the team. I thought Charlie Tier would start. Ollie Carter has made the most of every opportunity. James Coles has come in and done very well. Jack Carson makes some great contributions. Nathan McAndrew with the bat has been excellent as well. He scored important runs for us. So, you know, we have managed to score runs in our middle order, which, you know, all 11 are allowed to. They all count towards your team. But we know that we need to be more consistent. We need to keep scoring big runs first innings because, again, as we found in this game here at Headingley, if you don't score your runs first innings, you're under the pump then and you're chasing the game, a bit like we were in Cardiff in the game against Glamorgan. So, look, I think we're making progress, but I think we've also got to be realistic.